which was never real.
Right. Then you lost the money.
Well, technically, we found it. But then it blew up.
Sure. But at the end of all that, you discover the Gordis Project, which is all about opening a vault. That's very convenient.
Not really. I mean, one way or another, everything on Pandora is leading you to a vault.
I'd actually agree with her on that.
Stole it. Yep. Just snatched it from... Found it. Crazy story. Received it. Yeah. From a bandit lord named Spleen Defiler. The clutches of an angry beast. A traveler. Not from around here. A traveler. Not from around here. Well, I was just getting to that. I was just getting to that. I met him when I was exploring Rust Commons. It's hanging out in Sanctuary. That place is in Lynchwood. That town it's a damn crap hole. But I was there for a reason. It's just beautiful this time of year. Looking for trouble. Looking for adventure. When I get attacked. I find something unbelievable. I run into someone. I hadn't even been there 2 minutes when this Spleen Defiler guy gets up in my face spouting some crazy nonsense. I tell him to back off. I hadn't even been there for 2 minutes when this Spleen Defiler guy gets up in my face spouting some crazy nonsense. I tell him to back off. I hadn't even been there for 2 minutes when this Spleen Defiler guy gets up in my face spouting some crazy nonsense. I tell him to back off. I hadn't even been there 2 minutes when this Spleen Defiler guy gets up in my face spouting some crazy nonsense. I tell him to back off. This skag comes running at me, spitting and hissing. It's about to tear my throat out. I get ready to rip it a new one. This traveler, huge guy, comes out of nowhere. Says he's gonna take my heart as a trophy. I'm ready to tear him up. This mysterious stranger comes running towards me, screaming his head off. I get my trusty sidearm ready, when suddenly I'm jumped by this enormous monster. It had fangs and acid spitters. I readied my gun. Bandit, with a huge rocket launcher pointed right at me. I knock it out of his hand and punch him right in the face. Psycho freak baby who comes out of nowhere. He's running at me all, something, intestine scarf, something. And we're in an epic fight to the death until I get him on the ropes, and I tear his head clean off his shoulders. Decide to show the poor bastard some mercy. I let him run. I throw the decapitated head right at the other asshole, and bam! They're down and out. And what do I spy but something shiny they're carrying? And that's how I ended up with my new vault key. I toss the head aside, wipe the guts off. And that's when I spotted, in the middle of the entrails, the vault key. The first sucker's so grateful and doesn't want me to tear their head off that they offer me the vault key as a peace offering. Needless to say, I took it. First sucker's so scared of me they can barely stand, so I tell them to hand over everything they've got. And that's how I ended up with the key. But as they're running for the hills, I see what they left behind in their little hidey hole. The vault key. The first sucker has seen that I can be merciful, so they offer to give me the vault key as a peace offering. Needless to say, I took it. Shoot the poor asshole square in the beanbags. He's lying on the ground, bleeding out in the worst way. First guy's so scared of me he can barely stand, so I tell him to hand over everything he's got. And that's how I ended up with the key. He's lying on the ground, bleeding out in the worst way. That's when I see what's in his little hidey hole, the vault key. The first guy is so grateful and doesn't want me to perforate his fun zone that he offers me the vault key as a peace offering. Needless to say, I took it. Turns out, you can't judge a book by its cover. You won't even believe it. It's so cool. It's this cave, glittering with crystals, riddled with bullet holes. A shack. But not just any shack. This huge temple. It belonged to some sort of crazy cult. And boy, let me tell you, you'll be surprised because it was this guy. This woman. Until they get right up in my face and tell me what they want. All my money. My head on a plate. Me. In the carnal way. Right there. Obviously, I wasn't gonna stand for that. So one passionate night later, I'm finding myself waking up in this gorgeous mansion. Huge! I'm kicking back and enjoying myself. The back of a van down by the river. I'm trying to find my clothes and sneak away. A bathtub. I'm checking to make sure I've got all my organs. When suddenly, my new friend's old flame comes running towards me, screaming like crazy. Shut up, I was lying. Shut up, I was lying. Really? Oh, man. I thought everyone knew old spleen defiler.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty crazy too, but wait till you hear the rest.
Oh, no. Not usually. But this time, yeah, I mean, that was my reaction too. Duh. So I pull out my gun, and it's a damn crap hole, but it's the sketchiest dive this side of Pandora. But, do they? Oh, well, you know what they say about books and covers and all that? Like I was saying, of course when I say crap hole, I'm saying it with love. I mean, who doesn't love crap, right? That's a real step up from what it used to be. Gentrification in action, am I right? Let's call a spade a spade. Oh, well, you'd think that. Yep. It was awesome. Yep. It was awesome. Yep. It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. That'd be a boring story. Yeah. A beautiful junkyard where I was. It lands sometimes. On land, where caves are. Didn't have time to get its name. The one with the skags. Just lousy with them. I did not know. How neat. You might not know this one. It's pretty new. Yeah. A trash shack. A Temple 2 garbage. You haven't been? It's pretty cool. Real holy. So anyway, usually I'd never be caught unaware by an attacker. As you can imagine, it's a crazy story. Yeah, crazy. I don't even know where to begin. It's really something. I stole it. Stole it from, yep, hardened thief over here. Just stealing things left and right. Right, what was his name again? Spleen defiler?
Yeah.
I got it from,
A bandit lord? Yeah, we got it from some bandits.
So, as I was saying, So anyway, I was,
sis? Look, we were just sort of around, and we,
It's one hell of a place. I mean it like, I'm in this place with a mission. I'm just doing my thing. So anyway, the sketchiest dive this side of Pandora, but I'm there for a reason. I did a bunch of stuff, but I was there for a specific reason. What I'm trying to say is, this place is like, I don't really know how to describe it really, but yeah, so something crazy happened. Yeah, so this crazy thing happens.
We get attacked.
You won't believe it. Yeah, the cave. It's this wild place. Totally out of this world. Yeah, so I stumble upon this crazy thing. Yeah, we get attacked. They get right up in my face and demand that I give them. Turns out he's a bandit lord. The guy is a monster, literally. Not in the good way. And he is raging right at me. Yeah, I wake up and I have no idea where I am, but I realize that I've got him cornered. So I'm thinking about what to do to him. And it was a monster of a bandit, I tell you. Yeah, a beast of a bandit. Maybe I exaggerated a little, but he was a beastly little guy, that's for sure. Don't worry about that. Anyway, he's coming at me. He's so grateful that they offer to give me the vault key as a peace offering. Needless to say, I took it. He's so scared of me he can barely stand, so I tell him to hand over everything he's got. And that's how I ended up with the key. They're so scared of me they can barely stand, so I tell them to hand over everything they've got. And that's how I ended up with the key. They're so scared of me they can barely stand, so I tell them to hand over everything they've got. And that's how I ended up with the key. He's so scared of me they can barely stand, so I tell him to hand over everything they've got. And that's how I ended up with the key. Yeah, so I've got him there, and he's lying on the ground, bleeding out in the worst way. So I tell him to hand over everything he's got. And that's how I ended up with the vault key. So I tell him to hand over everything he's got. And that's how I ended up with the key. Yep. The details aren't really important. Don't let this feminine frame throw you off. I can be pretty intimidating when I need to be. Well, it's slang for, I'm caught, like, completely off guard by this. Stole it. Yep, he never even saw it coming. It was a bandit lord named Spleen Defiler. I stole it right from the clutches of an angry beast. I stole it from a traveler. I received it. A gift, if you will. Exploring Rust Commons. Let me tell you about that place. Hanging out in Sanctuary. I'm there looking for treasure. Well, crazy stuff. Just you wait. Oh, crazy stuff. Just you wait. Well, crazy stuff. Just you wait. Well, crazy stuff. Just you wait. I was looking for trouble. You know how it goes. But you know what happened next? I was looking for adventure. Like I do. Came out of nowhere. But what jumped me that day? Oh, man. Someone completely unexpected. I don't know about you, but I was shocked by this request. Until they get right up in my face and tell me what they want. What they wanted was... Things got so hot and heavy, I didn't even see where we went back to. From a traveler. He offers to give me the vault key as a peace offering. Needless to say, I took it. Just the most ruthless pirate for 1,000 miles. Some call me Bloody Amber. It's not your business. What's in this case isn't for you. It's too valuable to just flash. It's a special gift. It's a gift, all right? You see, it's bribe money, for bribes. And it isn't for the bartender, you skagweasels. It's vintage hooch, aged 100 years, if you must know. And no, you twin twips, it isn't for the bartender. It's the ashes of a dead relative. For witchcraft. And it sure isn't for the bartender, you gab faces. Organs, the live kind. And the clock's ticking. You see, going bad is a problem. It's a special refrigerated case. The Organ Mate Deluxe. Just because you're dead doesn't mean things have to go bad. And for someone much more important than you, fellas. They did. They're rotted and delicious. They'll be fresh for the buyer. Someone you shouldn't cross. And the buyer won't be happy you spoiled her spoils. Well, they will go bad if you don't get out of my way. A normal bomb, sure. See, and I'd hate for it to go off before I get it to the buyer. It's a toxic chemical compound. Makes your eyes pop in your skull and shoot pus about 50 feet. Anyone hit by that, ooh, boy, you envy the dead. Trust me. You don't want it going off before the buyer gets it. Causes explosive vomiting, among other things, in anyone who gets a whiff. Novelty value only. But the buyer isn't someone to cross. It's just a collectible. Deactivated. A landmine so deadly, this prototype killed the man who designed it. Without even exploding. Ma Valerie. Oh. Me and her go way back. I first met her in... it was a hell of a place. After that... besties forever. We met over in Lynchwood. She would put people down and let the gravedigger take the names. She needed a posse. I wanted an albino pelt. We met over in the Three Horns. She was hunting the fell albino bullymong himself. Wait. It doesn't matter how I know her. But hey, I know how you feel. Don't worry, you made a mistake messing with me. Tell me if I'm wrong. You're worried. You're worried that I'm who I say I am. And you should be. Because I am. You're skeptical. Is she telling the truth? But I'm the big fish, and you're the tiny minnows. Thought I was a small fish in a big pond. So, you buy me that drink, I'll forget this even happened. And you are going to buy me that drink. There's a very good reason. We have a deal going down worth more than both of you dimmers 1,000 times over. And if you don't buy me a drink and play nice, you'll just be another couple bodies in her corpse hole out back. Because Valerie is watching us right now. Because if he goes upstairs and tells Valerie 2 guys are hassling me, you'll just be another couple of slabs hanging on hooks in her meat locker. So, buy me a drink and play nice.